Esmeralda is tanky AF.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Something to keep in mind here. She may be super tanky, and yes, she scales, but at least she had a little bit of changes in the patch notes. That extra damage is what, that extra attack ratio, that's what gave her the advantage over Joy.
The winning matters.
When winning matters there.
Yeah. I mean,
Next patch notes, we're seeing Esmeralda with a little Snapdragon processor in her.
A new Snapdragon skin.
Ooh, hey, yo!
Hey.
That'd be kind of fire. That'd be kind of fire.
If you want it, just top up your diamonds with Catchy Shop.
Yep. PBN Strike now on the blue side with Sway Esports on the red side. We're seeing the first couple of bans coming, and I think Sway Esports really smart. Get rid of that Farmis. Farmis just bailed PBN Strike from some really tough spots.
Yeah, I think the Farmis, yes, is a heartache for the side of for Sway. But in terms of how the draft evolved in that game number 1, they banned the Farmis. Maybe they want to ban the Edith. If they ban the Edith, it will be a Frederick Open, will be a Esmeralda again. But in terms of how Sway just want to provide the bans for itself, in game number 2, they need to figure out what kind of advantage they want to have. Is that still early game? Maybe they want to go for the pick-off again, try to work things out with the Saber support. But I think if they want to substitute one kind of hero, maybe the Joy is not needed in terms of the draft coming in for Sway. They will maybe go for like a tanky. They will go for Barats onto the EXP. Still okay versus the Esmeralda. PBN Strike, still the same ban. They doesn't want for the Martis as well as the Fanny. Last ban, maybe they want to ban for, they want to force out. They want to force themselves the Karida.
I don't know. Ooh, this could be a bit of a tough one here, right? Because again, we're seeing that Sway Esports is purposefully targeting specific heroes, right? The PBN Strike, they're still going on with the same draft that they did in game number 1. They're focusing down on the early game heroes, but Sway Esports, I think they've adjusted their plan a little bit, right? Take away the pickoff, get rid of Farmis as well. And that means that a lot of these meta picks are going to start falling through the cracks. We're expecting Joy, we're expecting Fredrin, like you mentioned before. But more importantly, Sway Esports aren't shooting themselves in the foot this time. They have access to Valentina. So no matter what PBN Strike want to do, at least if it's ultimate orientated, they can steal it away or at least mirror them.
Yeah, if they want to steal the Valentina, they can, but they have to realize that 1-1 is still going to be in the hands of PBN. So it will be the same kind of composition for PBN unless it doesn't have the Farmis as well as maybe with the Kaja could not be fitted because of the bans itself. So Fredrin is open again, and they have the Saber if they want to. So open up the Valentina and onto the support role if they want to force it out versus the 1-1. Maybe the Grok, maybe the Kufra could be taken away for this pick number 2.
No, I think they're going to stick to the meta right now because they don't have to show it just yet. If PBN Strike want to say, hey, I'm going to show Kufra right now, that could be great for Sway Esports because now they can start thinking, hey, maybe I can actually steal away the Kadena once more and look for these pickoff strategies. If not, take a page out of PBN Strike's book. Hey, give me the Saber. I'll show you how to actually do it, even though you guys won. Taste your own medicine.
I think in a million years, man. But if the PBN just want to show how the Sabers we're going to make here, but I think if they want to pick the Saber for PBN, I think they need to just force out the Fredrin for the side of Sway. The Fredrin is too tanky for that Saber. They can take the Valentina, but the Valentina still has the ultimate to just run away a little bit and just copy away that Saber. So PBN Strike, if they pick Saber, I think that is not a good choice in terms of they still has a lot more in terms of pick number 2 and number 3.
Yeah, not to mention that Varsa this time actually is going to be able to go through the draft, but this... Oh, no, they don't want it. All right, so PBN Strike are focusing on the side lanes this time. They don't care too much about it. They have the flexible pick in Kadena who can go in both support as well as mid lane roles, but Glue is really important because it's telling Sway Esports, hey, I need you to be able to play somebody who has DHS at the very least.
Yeah, in terms of how the same kind of composition that PBN is trying to bring, they go for a team fight. But in terms of Sway, they have the Claude, but I didn't see Barbichi in this kind of matchup.
Barbichi has been, looks like he's been subbed out for break even. I mean, Gio was doing kind of all right in the last game, but I guess Barbichi not feeling too well, or if not, giving an opportunity for break even. I'm not sure who's going to be playing the mid lane as well as the support role. They could have swapped it around a little bit because break even is usually the dedicated support. But we'll see in a little bit as Sway Esports decide to get rid of the Edith, showing respect where respect is due.
Do you think that Sway just, you know, bring break even in game number 2, just want to break even the score?
don't do this with me right now.
It's
I already
superstition, man.
have to deal with Staffa during MPL. I don't want to have to deal with you two as well
Hey.
with these sick dad jokes.
You know, at least I can feel it.
ooh, I'm bowling up already. All right, so Kufra gets banned out here. Good shout from the side of PBN. Strike Sway Esports on the other hand. What are they leaning towards too?
I think Sway, they want to lean onto maybe the... I think the Hayabusa is still one of the good bands for Sway, because they already have the Karida, they already have the 1-1, and also the glue is too much tanky for the side of PBN. But in terms of if PBN wants to go a lot more tanky, maybe a Kai Jungle could evolve for the side of PBN.
I suppose. Yeah, I do think that at least with the Akai, it's not that bad. At least you have some form of counterplay when you're fighting for Lords or neutral objectives in general by pushing Fredrin to make sure that you are able to actually retribute first before the Fredrin. Xavier actually getting taken off. Rather interesting.
Huh. I just trying to find the logic, the most 100% logic in terms of Xavier, because of PBN already has the Karida. They already have magic damage for the side of PBN.
I mean, Kadita technically is flex because she can go into the support section. My guess is that Sway Esports wants PBN Strike to maybe show a Farsa, show something. Give the mid laner lock-in so that Sway Esports can at least last pick what their EXP is going to be.
I think, yeah, for the side of, I think PBN also knows that if Karida versus a Valentina into the mid lane, maybe a little bit of a missed pick coming in from the side of PBN. But if Sway force that Karida to be into the support role, I think maybe they have something that can play in the mid versus Valentina. Lapu Lapu has been picked here, and in terms of if PBN bring up the Forza too much magic damage, they can play into the mid game power spike. In terms of Lapu Lapu here, it would be hard for the Forza to just keep up with the damage. But Karida as well, it can burst down the Lapu Lapu, but it takes some time.
Yeah, it does take some time, and I think PBN Strike need to lock. Wow, they banned out the Phobius. All right, I guess they were that worried about it, but I do think that PBN Strike probably should lock in the Grok here, right? Grok doesn't seem that bad. You need to separate the back line from the front line. You're trying to look for a disengage. Lolita's also really good. I'm noticing that Lolita has been banned out. Usually she gets banned out within the second phase, but not this time. Instead, they're going to double down on Farsa. I am sad.
Hey, why you want some defense if you can just burst anybody down?
You know what? That's true. That's true.
This is the true DNA of PBN. Hey.
We went into the hyperbolic time chamber. It's 2 million years in the future. I got what I was looking for.
Saber pick again in game number 2. Break even steps up into the matchup. Sway Esports game number 2 again with the Saber. I think. Yes, burst versus burst.
Come on.
Whoever burst first is going to win the matchup.
Come on. I do think that Leone does have a bit of an advantage, especially with Petrify. He did it one time, and that's how he survived the full commitment from Geo in the last game.
Yeah.
We might get to actually see it live this time rather than off screen. I can't wait. I'm excited for this one. Kadita versus Saber all over again.
I think it's going to be a hard game for the side of Sway if they want to break even in game number 2 to just force us into game number 3. PBN Strike, they have the momentum, they have the initial winning priority, but in terms of Sway, let's see what they can do in game number 2.
I'm not going to let that slide. I hate it here. PBN Strike on the blue side with Sway Esports on the red side. And once again, we shouldn't be seeing too many interactions, but I think Sway Esports have kind of adjusted, right? Instead of sending Saber into the side lane straight away, they made sure, hey, let's stick around the mid lane, get that first push, and make sure that we can actually cover our jungle and side laners at the same time.
Yeah, because of how Sway, if they want to play a little bit of the damage, but yeah, it's going to be for the side of Sway as well. But in terms of how recent history coming in for Razel itself has a kill participation of 68. That is too much. More than 50% for PBN Strike. So if PBN Strike, they know for a couple more damage they had, Sway maybe needs to look out more.
Yeah, and Leone, he's already level 2 compared to Gio, who just hit it as well. Not entirely sure where the EXP differential started coming up here, but Leone trying to hit onto it, but Merps, he's in trouble. He gets stunned up, and now with a level 4 Karina ready to run her down, Battle Mirror Image is going to bail him out of that situation. This is why Claude is the Swiss Army knife of marksmen.
I think, yeah, Swiss Army, all right. But I think I just love. Okay,
he's dead. He's dead here. Oh no, he's still alive. Wait, hold on. The execution doesn't go through, but Kadena is able to get that last auto attack in. But they do find the trade back. Leone dies, but topside Nanami gets punished by Yomi and Hiroski.
More than a trade for the side of Sway. They got a free give as well. Bottom side, yeah. With a better strike.
Okay, look.
Hey, a Farsa versus a Farsa, man.
Look, break even, he's just warming up here, man. He just got subbed in. The poor guy is like stretching his fingers like, okay, I won't miss the next one. I won't miss the next one.
Hey, it happened in the classics, man. Farsa versus Farsa. You failed a rest strike, you just flew away.
Dude, I don't even touch classic anymore. I don't even touch classic.
Hey,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just want to messing around, man.
All right, that's fair. But Chenko is in trouble. Bravest Fighter already threw in. Oh, doesn't even need the damage reduction. Just commits to the fight, but Nanami is here. Slam pushes him aside. The knock him into the rough waves onto Yome, and Break Even just stands there and watches in horror as he is helpless to do anything about the situation.
Confidence for the side of Sway to go for that purple buff as well.
Oh,
Flickers comes in.
Break Even secures the kill. Feathered Airstrike might take him out. No, he can tank it. He can tank it. What a chat. Look at him. He tanks it.
Oh, no, Bloods.
Oh, Bloods is nearby. He wants to pull him out too. Feather Airstrike just to try even the tides. He knew he was dead, but at the very least, he's not giving the gold over to the gold laner.
Yeah, I think this is maybe a curse for Blood itself. In game number 1, doesn't have any kills. Game number 2, only focus on to the turret. You can see how the laning for the side of Blood is. He's a construction worker, I think, because of that. That tower will be taken away a lot, but I think.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Dude, your vocab is great. I love it. But the triple sweep already going to secure the kill onto Farsa, who's struggling to find an opportunity for herself to actually get out of these. But Hiroski continuing to control this top side against the Nami is doing great. He's a level up. He can force the waves. He wins these 1v1s now.
In terms of damage, yes, PBN has a lot, but oh no.
Oh, Leone missed, and now he's out of position. Rough ways to get him out. Do they commit to this?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't have any more objective to be, trades for the side of PBN as well as Sway. If they go for that team fight in that kind of position, they cannot push down bottom lane because only 2 minions left. They cannot go on top side. They doesn't have total foresight at 20 seconds. So that is a win-win for both sides because it does not commit into such a mistake.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There was no objectives to really play for, and more importantly, Sway Esports just don't have any resources. Barely had their ults. They go for the full reset. They managed to get the goal played, but now, just before the action was about to happen down in the goal lane, what's going on? Break Even still alive, but the rough waves already committed through. Leone still alive, but Break Even outplays the situation still, as Bloods isn't able to get that last weakness point to proc the crossbow of Tang.
There's no weakness for the side of Sway right now in game number 2. PBN's just praying till they can fight with the damage. But in terms of how the fight takes away on bottom and mid lane, plays really good for Sway. They're just swaying away their rights onto that team fight. But PBN, they still have much more magic damage. In terms of physical, they only have Razel and Bloods to just be played in this kind of matchup. Yeah, I think, a couple of items could just negate any damage for side PBN. They need that team fight. They need Nanami to just play with them and wait for that 1-1 to have a hyperbolic in terms of damage.
So they just need time here. And Sway Esports is trying to not let them get that time. But the lead that they have, I mean, they're only 800, 900 now ahead. It's a very small lead, but they got 2 turtles under their belt. Third turtle is going to ensure that they have a very clear EXP lead. I mean, look at this, right? We're seeing that break even, basically a level ahead of Chenko. We're also seeing that Hiroski is a level ahead of Nanami. And even Gio now actually scaling up, level 7 compared to Leone at level 6.
Yeah, this is the first time I think that Sway has an upper hand in terms of gold. 1,000 is not a lot, but surely feels in terms of items and damage. They could be bring Leone.
Oh, he touches
Still
grass. Oh wait, no, it cancels the rough waves. Break even gets the live, and now Feathered Airstrike stolen, turning it around in the counter engagement from Sway Esports. Gyome clutches up.
PBN. They thought they can take a lot more damage. Leone, game number 1, you have the momentum though. Game number 2, I know, this is Sway turf. Break even takes the game leading into the game number 2.
I love it. I absolutely love it right now. Nanami trying to zone away Gio. He knows that break even is nearby, but he doesn't have enough damage to 100 to 0 him just yet. But Sway playing for these objectives, right? Objective focus. Bottom tier 1 is gone. Sway Esports will also take the turtle too with no contestation.
This is not the window that PBN Strike can open up because of how Sway already have a lot more upper hand in terms of if you want to kill down the Federain, you need to force down the jungle. You need to play it as aggressively as you can and just force out these stacks coming in from Federain. But in terms of how PBN is so back away from the leads that Sway had, it could not make it.
Oh, once again, Leone outplays the situation, manages to get the rough waves off in time before that triple sweep completed. And Gio, a little sad about that. Probably wishes he took a Petrify himself, but Flicker is just too good for him, especially on a Saber.
Valentina top side.
Oh,
Kadita.
wait, yeah, Tri-Brush, Kadita. Wait, she's alive. She's got a sliver of HP, and even break even. He already utilized his ultimate as well as a Flicker in that engagement. Hiroski with the bravest fighter sees an opportunity, unable to capitalize on it, so Nanami will have to pay that price. Sway, are they just gonna let it go? Ah!
Yushchenko takes 1 HP, man. He could just live that all of the regions come for the side of Nanami. Just trying to force away that objective. But in terms of PBN Strike, okay, just give to Yushchenko, just protect mid. We go for a reset and just wait for another objective. PBN, I think they didn't know what to do. They need to wait and wait for Blood Anzai. Get a lot of movement speed and just skip away, but Mur's been taken away on bottom.
That's what you want to see coming in for PBN Strike, looking to find these pickoffs here. They finally find a hole. Leone opens up the map, but does mean that break even takes away the rough waves. This could be extremely dangerous here. If they find that Terrify, they might actually go for the one-shot triple sweep to ensure a good setup by break even as Gio takes him up. Break even now, zoning off Chenko as topside. It looks like it's still holding on for now. Gyome able to cover the bottom as well. But now Chenko doesn't get hit completely by the rough waves, but Hiroski flickers for it, secures the kill, and they back out.
Oh, I don't think that he's going to be back away a lot, but in terms of how the Lord has been here, maybe the inside of Sway, they need to go, but in terms of PBN, they cannot force it down. They have the damage for Blood, but they cannot go for a retreat onto that Lord.
Oh, Nanami, he's going in for that information. He sees that he can't do anything, but he does pull one out of position. The rest of Sway looking to back him up. The setup is there, break even. Finally goes down in the Blazing Duet, unable to chunk out Nanami.
I love in the terms of how the Blazing Duet has been involved into how much damage with shields have been given, but in terms of this is reconciled outside of PBN.
Almost securing the kill, but Merps is still alive, and Hiroski is going to get right into the front of it. Triple sweep is going to chunk out that glue just enough for Hiroski to secure it. They trade 2 for 1, and Hiroski in a 1v3 tries his best with a crossbow of Tang to put him out of his misery.
That re-engage coming in for Sway, a split second they had a kill, but in terms of PBN, they know the cooldown is there, they need to wait, and that re-engage coming in for PBN as well.
Oh, you're so greedy, Leone! He tries, but Gyome does it again, cancels the rough waves.
Leone could not be left alone. That is some bold move coming in for Leone. PBN just got the lead, man, and then they throw it away.
I mean, look, the Lord is already pushing on. Leone is getting desperate. He knows he has a shorter death timer than everybody else because he's been dying quite a bit. But now, tier 1s are falling. Nanami in the middle of it. Can he actually pull a proper target? No! It's going to be Appraiser's Wrath who takes him out. And even the backline is getting attacked. His Burps is already dead. They find that kill to Arlo. Crossbow of Tang to turn the tides as Rizel is still alive. A 2 for 1, but Saber looks for a triple sweep. Takes it back 2 for 2. Nobody is safe on this map.
That Saber, you need to look out. Yes, you have the damage for Blood on Zai, but in terms of that pickoff coming in for Gio, yes, he messed up in game number 1. With game number 2, it's not a possible way for the side of Sway, because how Gio just go on top side, just, you know, I just want to farm, I just want to push a little bit, just follow the momentum that Lord brings on bottom side, just, you know, 50% with the lane. But in terms of that first damage that Gio has.
Oh, Leone keep. Oh, that's such a feels bad moment. Leone in the Ocean Oddity gets terrified, which pushes him out of it. And just before the wall, doesn't even get over it. Talk about bad timing.
That, I think, much more like a desperate move coming in for Leone, because we know that maybe is it a strat coming in for PBN, because Leone is level 10 rather than all of the members of PBN is 11 and 12. Level 10, yes, you has a couple shorter kind of revive that could play for side of PBN strike. Yes, you could just give away that Kadita. If she can burst anybody down, it could be okay.
It could be, as Horowski goes into the middle of 3 people after a conceal from Gio. He's left to rot by himself. They're not committing. Oh, they committed. They feathered airstrike, but they do give the kill over to Bloods. But mid lane, wait, mid lane's in trouble. Break Even actually gets on out of there, but he's chunked out the enemy jungler already as the rest of Sway Esports take the objective for themselves. Break Even holding the line single-handedly as the backline getting attacked by Nanami. Yome now here to start peeling against Yochenko. They walk off 3 for nothing. They get the Luminous Lord, but PBN Strike have all 5 of their members alive.
Like I just said, Gio is the #1 person that you need to kill for the side of Sway. You take down Gio, maybe Horowski next. So there's a Blazing Duet here.
Yep, is Blazing Duet going to get much? They chunk them out even more. I'm thinking that Sway Esports is trying at the very least.
Hey, you need Radiant Armor as well, man.
Yeah, Radiant Armor is going to be highly valuable here, but I don't know. Looking at the composition for the side of Sway Esports, like, hopefully they get it sooner rather than later, because they need not only a Radiant Armor, they need to get an Athena Shield.
Rose Gold for the side of that Claude. Double shield.
Oh, that's a good point.
Mechanism, though.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Let's have a look at his items right now. Does he actually have it? No, he doesn't even have the mat. Oh, instead he just went straight for the Athena Shield. He's not going to go for the Magic Blade to get that extra bit of spell vamp, as well as that fat shield with movement speed. But I think this should be enough to protect him from a one-shot from Leone. I could be wrong about that, because I do see a Genius Wand. I do see a Magical Penetration Boots. I think he's going to eventually build into the Divine Glaive.
Yeah, in terms of items, yes, you need. They need something that could play away with that Karita. But in terms of how PBN Strike, they are going for a stalemate here. Who's going to go first?
You're so brave, Yome. He takes it for the team, goes down, gets taken out by Rizel, but that's going to be a huge ultimate coming out from Leone as they find the trade back. Horowski gets one, finds the rough weights in the back line. Feathered airstrike takes out Break Even, and now Merps, he's got nobody to peel for him. Gio is done and dusted. He's backing off, doesn't have his ultimate as well. 2-for-1 trade in favor of PBN Strike, and now full commitment as Horowski is trying to clear this wave to protect mid-tier 1. Alpha Chad movement, willing to give up his life for tier 1 mid lane.
That is one bold move coming in for Sway. A crucial moment for the side of Sway. Do we want to save this tier 1 tower? That question is yes. Someone just die on that team fight, because the PBN Strike, they are on a mayhem here. They need a kill. They need some objectives. They just push away minions to just go into the hands of Sway, because they only has 1 tower in their hands. That is something that PBN is showing that game number 2 is not the likes in game number 1. They had a lot more confidence, but Leone, did she want to go for a burst damage in terms of how, like she did in game before this in that mid lane?
I mean, PBN Strike had like what, a 5k gold lead? Now they're actually at a gold deficit, a 1.3k deficit in a matter of fact. And I think Sway Esports just maintaining this lead against PBN Strike towards the later stages of the game. They're going to be very comfortable here. Oh, Nanami doesn't have enough magic resist. Break Even absolutely demolishes him. But Leone, he tries his best. Break Even, he's still going to be going down. Execution straight away, as we do see it. Gio's trying his absolute Lubez. He's going to be walking from the flank here. Merps ends up dying to the feathered airstrike. It's too late. The timing is missed. And now Sway Esports are scrambling to get out of there. Hiroski falls down to the crossbow of Tang, and Geo, still with his ultimate, did not make it in time.
They had the idea for Sway, waiting for Geo on the backside, just want to kill the far side, maybe Leone. But in terms of how PBN saw the Saber in that mid lane, they just commit, 100% commit onto the front line, giving the kill one by one. They take 3 onto the accounts, and this lot will be in the hands of PBN.
Oh, Gyome, he tries to steal it, but walks into 3, instantly dies, didn't even get the Appraiser's Wrath down. Instantly PBN strike. They've woken up. They're done with this gold deficit, now with a gold lead at a time where it doesn't really matter, except for Leone, of course, who still needs items, but everybody else is basically full build.
I think Leone plays Karita just like how you play Diggy though. You just die and just repeat itself, just give more information where Sway is.
Is this the feeding Kadita strat?
Is this hoping that you lose but win the strat?
Look, I think PBN, I think especially for Leone, he's looking to be proactive on the map, and I think, you know, PBN Strike are okay trading as long as the gold lead is too far ahead. But now that they've actually reclaimed it, they're taking 1 inhibitor. They're looking to end this game on that top side. Right, Cell almost gets sent all the way back to the fountain. They're trying to end this game, but it's not good. The backline gets attacked. Geo already chucked out, stopping the feathered airstrike. Sway Esports still with all members still alive. Nobody has died just yet, and finally Geo dies to Yachenko. But that's going to be, wait, mid inhibitor? Are they going to get mid inhibitor as well? Nanami isn't going to walk up. Nope, nothing here. Only 1 inhibitor achieved by PBN Strike. Sway buys themselves 5 more minutes into the game.
If Sway plays this threat again after this with the team fight, I think PBN will have upper hand here, because the same kind of threat, the same kind of strategy that PBN could use. You just 100% goes in onto the front line and makes the win for the side of PBN. But that conceal itself for Geo nearly make it for the side of Sway.
Nearly. Oh, break even. Almost getting hit by that third one. That would have
Doesn't
hurt.
have any minions though.
Bottom side. I mean, they're just going to force it, right? They only have 2 minions there. They're able to open up the inhibitor. Lord isn't spawning in anytime soon, honestly. So Sway Esports, it's going to be a little bit difficult to walk out of their base, but PBN Strike, it looks like they're not going to gatekeep them just yet.
A little bit late for the side of Sway. They want to go for the high ground defense coming in, and they need to rely on how Geo trying to go for that conceal again. I think that kind of threat, it works, but in terms of how consistent you do it, could maybe give a lot more information for the side of PBN, because he does it a lot of times. Yes, it's worked for Sway, but in terms of how you want to find Yachenko, it's kind of really hard, because if Yachenko already have full items, but if he just go for a immortal, I think it's going to be really hard for side of Sway.
I mean, it's already really hard, and I just noticed that Ryzel, he's going... I saw him building the full damage build, but I think the scariest thing is the fact that he has Blood Wings, and Blood Wings has been changed a little bit here. They give you this fat shield that has, what, a 30-second cooldown, if I remember correctly, if you're outside of combat, that replenishes and doesn't disappear as well.
It's going to be really hard here, because of this is the ultra late game that you have been mentioning.
Oh! Instantly break even. Tries to go for the one-shot on Leone, but Leone has been scaling up just enough. That's such a big pick-off for the side of PBN Strike. And Blood, he's walking for it. Gyome, you're so far ahead. The triple sweep finds 1 in Leone as well, but Gyome ends up dying. Crossbow of 10 coming out from Bloods, and this is why everybody has been banning out the Wan. Just too good. Wait, is there any way?
Bottom.
They can force it on bottom.
Yeah.
Claude, he's recalling here. It's going to be a 2v4. Let's see how they play this out. Do they have the ultimate? Geo has the ultimate, but now the fucker for Nanami instantly with a feathered airstrike from Yachenko puts him out of his misery as well. And that's going to be Claude 2 also going down. That's going to be a GG. Well played for Sway Esports. They couldn't do much about it. PBN Strike take the game 2-0.
Wow, PBN. As I suspected.
As I suspected. Well done with the predictions here. Big change up of game plan for PBN Strike, and Sway Esports just could not adapt fast enough. Had a solid game too, but wow, that ultra late game, man, that's rough.
The longer I realized that if we saw what happened in game number 2, in end game number 1, PBN switch the DNA,
Mhm.
but Sway stick to it.